Yeah. We have things happen here around the history. The Jews rejected the Messiah. Christian church, they rejected the Jewish king. They reject the Torah, the law. And you find that scary. And other things. We're going to talk about it. So the physical Messiah, Jews say no for him. But the Torah is the Messiah. Jesus is the Word of God. Christian rejected the Torah. Old Testament is not for us. Good for you. I'm not under the law. Of this teaching they're speaking about. So here, crucify him. The living Torah or the living Word of God was rejected by the Jews. The Torah, the written Word of God, we are not going for this. It's not for us. They reject this. They separate themselves from the Jews, from the original church, and they create the church of the Gentiles. They call themselves like this, and they are happy, and they're very deceived. They don't know. You cannot be with God and you be Gentile. Here is, this is very good place to speak about. There is a prophecy here saying, for the children of Israel, Hosea 3, children of Israel shall abide many days without a king, without a prince, without sacrifice, without an image, and without an ephod, and without teraphim. And afterward shall the children of Israel return and seek the Lord of their God and David their king, and shall fear the Lord and his goodness in the latter days. Can this be something into the face of every Christian pride that he is doing better? They will be sitting like dumb, veil on their eyes, they cannot see. For a certain people, Hosea 3, 4, 5. Do you like that?
Yeah.
And it shall come to pass, this is Isaiah 66, last chapter of Isaiah, that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another. It means like God into the end time in the millennium, he look after the Sabbath, and he will look after moon to moon, which we Christians don't want to know about it. It's Jewish things. Shall all flesh come and worship before me, says the Lord, and they shall go forth and look upon the carcasses of the men that have transgressed against me, for their worm shall not die, neither shall their fire be quenched, and they shall be abhorring unto all flesh. The meaning of what?
Abhorring, repulsed.
Yucky.
Oh, that'll be yucky. Okay.
Right? So here he's talking about from moon to moon, and all flesh will come to worship the Lord into the end time. But see, here is this side is a bit better. So I will make my holy name known in the midst of my people Israel, and I will not let them profane my holy name anymore. Then the nations, you can find it another version than the Gentiles. Now, then the nations shall know that I am the Lord, the Holy One of Israel. So the Lord will make his name known among his people again. He is into the first picture we put when God is gathering his children. Israel role in the kingdom. Thus says the Lord of hosts, in those days it shall come to pass that the 10 men shall come take hold out of all languages of the nations, even shall take hold of the skirt of him that is a Jew, saying, we will go with you, for we have heard that God is with you. They're going to hold in a Jewish man and say, we know that your God is the real one, want to be with you. I don't know how the Christians think they are doing with all those kind of prophecy and what is their story. The Christian rejects the Sabbath. If you get to the 10 Commandments, you know 10 Commandments? I hope I have that slide. I hope I have that slide for you. I didn't do it, sorry. We have the 10 Commandments. The Jews, they kill Jesus, false witness, and they were jealous of him. So that one which do not desire the things of others. So there were three things they did. They break the law, the 10 Commandments. What did the Christian do? They break the commandment number 4, keep the Sabbath holy. Second commandment, don't do any statue, whatever, don't worship any other God. Most of the Christian worshiping Mary and saints and all those things. What else? There was another one. So which one can be okay for you?
Nothing.
All right. Okay. Now we're gonna speak about the feast. That is like, why is this keep coming?
I know. It keeps dropping.
I drop it for you to bring it up. Yalla. Just make you busy.
Okay, thank you.
Feasts. There is 7 feasts. I was studying this and I was just like, oh, rejoice from the revelation of God. 7 feasts of Israel. We have nothing to do with them. Do you know the feasts of Israel? Do you know them? Do you know them?
The Passover.
Good, that's one. There's 7, guys. You know what God said about them? They are everlasting. Sabbath is everlasting. I'm going to show you the verses. Only one out of the 7 was not everlasting. Only one. And the thing is, let me show you. They are the Messiah's feast. What do you mean the Messiah's feast? Messiah feast means it's every one of them is a symbol or whatever picture of something about the Messiah. And we have nothing to do with them. It's not our part. This is Jewish. Christians don't know about the Sabbath. We don't honor. The Sabbath is a day of rest, and we're going to see how it's written eternal, everlasting. And I just Googled every one of them. Is this eternal? Is this? And I found them, and I was just like, wow. So there are 7 feasts. The feast of. I just wanted to show you some of the. Can I talk about the Jews first?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is scared me today. Because all of us know that the Jewish don't do animal sacrifice, of course.
Not now. Yeah.
Yeah, why? From 2,000 years. Because there is no.
Animals
Really?
to sacrifice. Well, we don't have lambs everywhere.
Come on, Misha, you're smarter than that.
Sorry.
Why they don't do animal sacrifice, the Jew? Why?
Because the Lord said, do not sacrifice anything from Ezekiel.
Come on, guys. Because there is no temple.
Oh.
Ah,
I've never been to Jerusalem.
you don't have to go to Jerusalem to know.
I spent 5 months in Israel.
Really?
Yeah.
5 months.
3 weeks in Egypt, 5 months in Israel.
Oh, you should tell us about this story. Finish. And you have to tell us.
I wasn't thinking like this.
Next week.
I didn't really.
Next week you tell us.
Yeah.
But listen, I'm gonna scare you with
I
this.
was a tourist.
There was no sacrifice from 2000 years, 70 years after Christ. The temple was destroyed and there was no more sacrifice, right? No more animal sacrifice. One day I told you this story a few times. The lady was telling me on the phone, and I said, Israeli lady on the phone trying to convince me to go a course. And I said, how do you do without having sin forgiven? All 2,000 years of sin on the nation. Come on, guys, how do you survive this? And the lady on the other side was silent because they have the Yom Kippur and the Day of Atonement, when the people really they do certain sacrifice, and God is covering for this year to another year. But I'm gonna surprise you. Do you know that the Passover? What is the Passover they do? Today I learned this, or yesterday night, and I couldn't sleep. My Lord.
They just have like a dinner.
Dinner of what? Good. What is the dinner done of?
7 courses. Lamb.
Lamb. Why?
Because it's the Lamb of God. Sorry.
Why is the Lamb of God they don't have?
Jesus.
Come on, God. What's the Passover, Alfie?
The Egyptians.
The Egyptian,
The
the angel of death will pass in Egypt. That was the last plague.
Yeah.
If you don't see the lamb, the blood on the post and the side of the house, he saved that house. If there is no blood, he killed the firstborn. And every family has to bring a lamb. They gather together and bring a lamb and barbecue it. What is it?
She's kebab.
No. The whole
Steak
lamb.
roast
Roasted, yeah, that's the word. Roasted lamb.
with the
So what is the meal of the Passover?
roasted lamb.
What is the meal?
Roasted lamb.
What is the meal? There is no roasted lamb for many years.
Why?
I was shocked.
Why didn't they have roasted lamb?
Because that was the Lamb of God. He's done. Of course, Jews will not do this, but how? Why they stop this? Well, they stop because it's a law passed on how many years now. They stop. They are forbidden against the law to make a roasted lamb on the Passover because of the lamb that they cannot do it, and the animal sacrifice. I have it on the slide, word by word. It's from their writing. It's because they stop the animal sacrifice and they're mourning for this, so they don't do the roasted lamb. Can you imagine? The angel of death is passing, and they don't do the lamb of.
So they're not saved on any Passover.
No. The rituals all is stopped. Are you okay? You still receiving?
Yeah.
In all Israel.
All Israel. I have the slide. It will come. Now here. These are, you can take picture of, it's again in Arabic. That's because of you. The Sabbath, Ahdan Abadiyan. This is all in Exodus. All those 7 things, 7 feast of, it's in Leviticus 23. All of them except one. The Feast of the Trumpet was not into, it's Leviticus 23. And a Feast of the Unleavened Bread, it was in Exodus. So here is the Sabbath, it's all Exodus, Exodus. You have the things written, Leviticus 23, all of them here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I like how God
7.
has feasts.
What's
I like that God has feasts.
Yom Kippur? That was a war, wasn't it?
Yom Kippur is the day, it's Yom al-Kabir, the biggest day. They do sacrifice for a certain day when the high priest enter, and he do these ceremonial things on his behalf and the people, and God cover for their sin for that year. And they fast from,
Wasn't there a Yom Kippur war in Israel?
yeah, Yom Kippur, the war of Egypt, when they enter in 67, and they took the land back of Sinai in 6 days or whatever, 6 days war, something like that. It was feast for them, and Egyptian enter by deception because they know they don't do anything in the feast, and they took them by surprise.
7-day war. Golden Heights. Yeah.
Bravo, you know a lot.
Yeah.
Here are the 7 feasts. Here is the Sabbath, and you have the references over here. All is Ahdan Abadiyan, Farida Abadiyya, eternal. Only one was Mahafan Muqaddas, and it's not eternal. Feast of the Trumpet. Why?
Is that because it's Revelations?
Why? Eternal, it means it will not stop. So those feasts are our feasts because they are symbolic of great things happen and yet to happen. Can we see what happened? Yeah. The Passover, it's of course Jesus on the cross, right? And the feast on the unleavened bread is Jesus is the first fruit of resurrection. The Pentecost is, we have the Pentecost when all people come to God. Feast of the Trumpet, Feast of the Atonement, and the Feast of the Tabernacle. These 3 didn't happen yet. The trumpet is the last trumpet that we talk about today. So didn't happen yet, but this one happened already. 4 happened, 3 didn't happen. Atonement is your great tribulation, David. Michael.
Oh, so we've had the first.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4. All those. These 3 not yet.
Wow.
Feast of the Trumpet is the rapture. Atonement is the great tribulation. And tabernacle. This is the tabernacle of God with man. into the book of Revelation 11, God was dwelling in a tabernacle when he came into the wilderness. It's a tabernacle. He never entered in house. And then he came in the end into the 20, I think, or 21 of the book of Revelation. This is the dwelling of God with men. Tabernacle again. So these three feasts are yet to come.
They're still
See the
celebrating.
crime they're doing us. We're Christians. We're denied all these things.
We should stop doing it.
I think we should study it a little bit more and try to see the dates and do some good
Yeah.
food and celebrate together.
That'd be
It's
cool.
not gonna harm anyone.
Yeah.
But don't go for Hanukkah and whatever. This is not the feast of God. Hanukkah and
Hanukkah?
the Purim or whatever. This is added later. All right. So these are the 7 feasts we're denied, and they are all eternal.
There's like 7
How
of us.
they dare to cut this for us and give us a Christmas and Easter? Easter, we call it the feast of the resurrection. You know?
Yeah.
Of course we celebrate Christ, but this is different from those ones. We celebrate God the first day of the week when Jesus is resurrected. But it has nothing to do with the Sabbath. We're going to see the verses they say about the Sabbath. What are we doing? We were robbed. We were robbed. Guys, I don't want someone to come, Suzy is trying to make us Judaize or whatever. I don't want anyone to say that. But what I'm showing, how the Jews were robbed, and now they're going for things and they're symbolic. They don't know there are a lot of things because their denial of their Christ, they cannot go and understand it. But for us, why we don't have those things? Who robbed us from this? Why the trumpet is only not eternal? It's just like, I was reading in one site, it says, it's probably because all of them are eternal, this one should be eternal too. I said, no, you didn't get it, you stupid. Why, Alfie, do you think the Feast of the Trumpet is not eternal? Everlasting, eternal.
He doesn't want to remember.
Because there is the last trump. The last trump means there is no one after. The trump is a sign of war. People come and gather for. He said that to Moses. When you hear the trump, you know there's a war coming. And that sound means we're going to do this. Every sound of the trump is different. They blow it in a different, so the people will know. They didn't have internet on the time or whatever, or microphones, right? So what happened? There is one called the last trumpet. We talk about it in the beginning, which announcing
The coming.
the rapture. The great trump or the trump of God is on earth. This is announcing the great the millennium. All right. So there is one trump. It's not everlasting. This is gonna be the last one, the last trump. Easy. The Bible is so easy. When I researched them all and I found, sometimes I just get easy, not the verse in the language, whatever. So this is all the feast. You can see them and the reference, and you can read the reference in your language. Right. So what else do we have? Aha, this one. This is from the New York Times for you, my friend.
Sacrificing lambs
Huh?
on the eve of Passover. Ancient custom.
As the ancient custom of sacrificing lamb on the eve, on the night of Passover and eating. This is that article. See, he's putting here the breaking of the bread for us, and this is the whatever. So this article is written here. So, and eating the meat to begin the festival ended with the destruction of the second temple in 70 AD. As a mark of respect for the memory of the temple sacrifices, because there is no sacrifice in temple anymore, the eating of a whole roasted lamb on the Passover is forbidden. Can you imagine how everything God is doing it? They do it for themselves by the code of Jewish law called whatever. Shulchan Aruch, which was first printed in Venice 1565. This is an article. Another one. Who eat lamb at the Passover? This is the guy. Passover is a time for question. Come to mind immediately. You can read the article, but it's talking here about there is no more roasted lamb in the Passover. So what is it then? You'd be very surprised. The other ritual they do. Do I have a slide after that, or I was doing other things? No, I don't have a slide. they take a green thing and they dip it. This is in the Passover exactly as Jesus did. So the Passover that Jesus did, he did it not the way that our communion is doing on any churches that we attend. None is doing the way what Jesus done. On that Passover, they sit there, they eat the meal, they drink 4 cups. You can do that another time in detail. 4 cups. So that cup is the third one when Jesus break, and I could describe it one time and give praise to God, right? And so it's not about whatever. He is doing it exactly. And then he was giving, the things. They dip the things into the plate. Every step we think it's another story. But because we never did a Passover, we don't know how they do it, the meal of the Seder, they call it. We don't know how they do it. 4 cups. The third one, he called the cup of what? I will come.
4 cups of
Cup
what?
of salvation. The Jews sit there and they relax. Go and read a little bit about how they do with the Jews, called the Seder of the Passover. They sit there, they relax, and then they drink the first one and they pray some certain prayer. We can go in detail of it because I'm not myself don't know too much. I need to read more to be able to get more revelation. And then the second one, and then the child asks about something, and the father or the grandfather of the family will explain to them what happened in Egypt and when they came out, and the lamb and all the story of the how they left Egypt as slavery and all that. And then the fourth cup, which the cup of waiting for whom? For Elijah. They're waiting for Elijah, something like that. It's the end of the book of the Old Testament. Don't go for more detail. We can do that in another time because it's important to study this. But Jesus, they dip into the things. They said they dip it in vinegar. The Jews remove that vinegar because every time we say vinegar, what it reminds you of?
He drank the vinegar on the cross.
So they didn't like it. Jesus, when he was on the cross dying,
Jesus do that.
Yeah.
they give him, I said, I'm thirsty, they give him vinegar. And they dip this and the green things, they change it to salt and pepper instead of vinegar. You see how they cannot keep the things of God as it's written into the original. They left it and we left it too. We didn't do it. Huh?
They're playing with God.
And then they sprinkle over the people.
Didn't God say anyone who changes the book in any way is going to be condemned?
The book of?
Well, anyone who changes his word is going to be.
But the Christian were changing from Sabbath to Sunday is Constantine, whatever, and another. I have slide for that. But every law of God was changed. We have anything everlasting, and we think, what are we doing? What is this?
Rubbish.
The communion. We do it after the meal we eat it. And we do it exactly more similar than any of these things. So we should really focus on those, not trying to be Jews, but try to see if it's everlasting. How dare you to stop it? How dare you don't teach it? How dare you that we do not, and then you call us the church of the Gentiles. Bravo. Because we're ignorant. But if you really have a Jew blood, you have to be able to read the Bible. Sorry, I keep sitting on you.
What?
Sitting too close.
Sitting.
Yeah, too close.
Oh.
So here we deny the eternal feast of the Lord, the Sabbath, the circumcision. We don't have circumcision. This is eternal. The Torah, it's not for us. We're not under the law. We are under the grace. I'm not under the law, not under grace. Jesus is going to sit there in Jerusalem and teach us the law.
That's nice.
Isaiah 2. The marriage. They change it as well. Don't get married, whatever. Serving of, this is Paul problem. I don't want to talk about it.
Serving of the woman.
Yeah,
You don't want to talk
Paul. I don't want to talk about this too. But this is Paul, don't get married. It's Corinthians 7. Go read it and say, why, Paul, do you want to do that? Why? And serving of the woman. The Passover And the promises of, we don't know about the land. It's not part of our agenda because we're not
But
really.
isn't the land what they gave in the book of Joshua? He took over all the places. That was the land promised to Abraham.
Well, they lost it.
Ah, okay.
Why they have war for Israel for the land.
Okay.
So we don't know anything about Abraham's promise and the land. But God said Jerusalem. He never changed his plan. The heavenly Jerusalem coming from up. All this gonna be burned, earth and heaven. Jerusalem coming from above is. He said this is the Jerusalem of the great king, the city of the great king. How can you change it to Rome? Are you dumb? Jerusalem, the city of the great king, and hundreds of verses that God never changed his mind. He put his name on Jerusalem.
Who changed it to Rome?
The Pope and Catholic.
No, it's not. Into the past, they took it to because Roman Empire.
Yeah.
The Roman was the Rome was the bigger
Oh, that's how
whatever.
it got there.
Yeah, but
After
Constantine,
Constantine, is it?
I don't know, before or
Constantine converted
after.
the Roman Empire to Christianity.
Yeah, he converted Roman, but they take us into a religion which is very bad, called Hellenizing or something, Hellenization. Helen, his mother, she was Greek, and I spoke about it before, but it's not Bible, so she was Greek. She was not Roman, but she married a Roman emperor, so she was like the king, the mother of the king emperor of Rome, even though she was Greek in origin.
So the Roman-
But what happened? She got a religion, and because they wanted to mix everything, they enter all into the same ritual. They make the things of the Greek. Why the Bible is in Greek? Because of Helen. Even though there was Roman, it should be in Roman language. Any other story? We talk about that another time. So here is, they reject the Messiah, the rest. The Sabbath is the rest of God. They heal in the Sabbath? No. He went heal here? No. And here, how much then a man better than a sheep? Why is it lawful to do well in the Sabbath day? So God, Jesus, broke all the ceremonial law of the Jews. He didn't break God's rule. He can't. He is himself. He is the Torah. How can he break himself? These stupid things that they're teaching us. So he did all good works into the Sabbath. And he said, it's okay to save your donkey, whatever, or sheep, whatever. It's not good to do goods. So this is how they reject the rest of God, and they didn't enter into the promised land. So they're doing that to us. We'll not enter a promised land because we don't have a promised land. The promised land is the heavenly Jerusalem. Called what? Jerusalem. So it's still Jerusalem, huh? God can use another name, but he didn't. He never changed his mind. Aren't you happy that God don't change his mind?
Yes. Or yes.
Sabbath to Sunday. Where is God's rest?
Right.
You
On
rest-
Saturday.
Sabbath law and early church, the Jewish Sabbath.
Is it Sabbath?
God gave the Sabbath for man.
Yes.
It's written in Luke 2. He got the Sabbath for me to rest and have time with him and relationship with him mainly. You enter in God's rest. God's rest was denied for us. Can come on Sunday? I don't know if it can come on Sunday. Can come anytime. But this is commandment. God give you a gift. Look at this one. You're going to love that one. Where is it? Good thing here. Where is it? Finish? Huh? I don't know. Maybe I didn't copy it. It's a gift. Please take a day of rest and it's paid. God no. And there is another one. We're gonna talk about the Sabbath another time. There is the feast of the years, which is the year of Jubilee. The land work for 6 years. The 7 years should be resting, and they deny all those things. They think they're clever. But you look like tired. What's the time? It's half an hour. Let's go for this one. This is I loved. I found this picture today. Can I make it bigger for you?
Jeez, what's the stuff around him? Is it
This is all going to happen in the end time. They will see him as the one that they pierced him. God bless this God. See, here is the ships. It's like army, new army. It's like the new way of wearing the shoes, whatever. The rabbi, the fire, the whatever. And it's Jesus crucified. And see this one. How do you like this one? Do you like this one?
What's he wearing?
Yeah, he's wearing the shawl.
On his
Can you
waist.
see? The
Why
shawls
do
of
you
the
like-
Jew.
Why do you like it?
Well, I like the shawl
Yeah, on him.
because I've never seen it like this. You know, he was covered by the shawl. It's very Jewish. This is very Jewish picture. When in the end time, see their eyes, they're crying. This is on the Armageddon war, guys. When all of them will see him and they say, "Oh, that's him. We pierced him. We pierced him." This is things for me. Don't worry about the Hebrew thing. I'm just trying to teach myself how be healed in the name of Jesus. Said the powerful word will be in Jewish. God spoke Jewish. Anyway, this one you're gonna like too. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of God, word of the Lord from Jerusalem. Isaiah 2. So it's always about Jerusalem. It's not the plan of the Jews or the plan of here the millennium. Most of Christian Jews understand the millennium better than us because they're waiting. They deny the Christ, Jesus, our Messiah, as their Messiah because they didn't see the peace and the victory, military victory they were expecting. But the Ephraim or the Joseph or the church or us, they do not know anything about a king, a Jewish king gonna come and rule over earth as a king. And we read that chapter, guys, today. We can read it from the Old Testament and you found like, really, can you deny all those verses? Church, your church, his church, their church, they deny it. None of the respectable church approved the millennium. Even the Orthodox church. All right. Yeah, this is the 70 years. This is a big thing. When I discovered it one day, God will request the Sabbath. He punished the land. I was working when I came to Australia 7 days a week on Thursday from 9 to 9. I didn't have time even to go do my hair or do whatever. I was work. And then God gave me this one verse, and there is two others here. But we're gonna go there when we study the Sabbath, whatever. It's 70 years. So God will give penalty for them 70 years of, where they destroy, for 70 years, huh? Because they didn't do the Sabbath. And the land desire her Sabbath, her rest. Understand the Sabbath is the rest that God desires for you. The rest is Jesus. Come unto me, all who are heavy burden, and I will give you rest. You think Jesus give you rest, but Jesus is the rest. You don't understand that you need him. Your body is tired, your soul is exhausted, unless you get the peace of Jesus on you, Michael. You're exhausted, huh? Well, Father, I pray that this teaching will not be heavy for many, will not offend many, but I pray that they will see the truth, how the church went in a place, will take us together in a place which is not very holy, and time is here close. Ephraim and Judah are fighting together. They're neither accepting each other, respecting each other. So, Father, forgive us as a church, and forgive us if we are from the 10 tribes or the 12 tribes. Forgive us because we didn't accept the church the way it is. And Father, I pray that this reconciliation and the two will be one. Two stick in your hand will be one will come day, that we will be able to sit and enjoy that day. Father, I pray that any bondage, any blindness, any deafness, any whatever on the children of God who can hear the message, anyone who didn't enter into the Sabbath, the rest of God till now, may the rest of God will fall upon you. May you feel his peace. May you enjoy a night of sleep. May your body will be restored in the presence of God in a great mighty way, in a way that you never experienced before. You're teaching about things related to the past, the history related to the future, but the most important things, Father, is your rest. We come and enter into your rest. Jesus, right now, I pray that you lay hand on your children, on the room, or whoever listen to us in the internet. May they breathe. May they take the rest of God into every cell of their body. May healing will start right now. And everything not according to God's will. Everything. Christ has a totally healed body, totally sane, whole body, holy. May this holiness touch people. May this holiness come upon us right now. And then we ask for forgiveness for what we did, Father. I pray that body will be healed and freed in the name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.